His job is to empower the team members. The team members take the decision. You don't take decision for the team take decision from them. How do we do that? One of the way I just shared with you. One of the ways voting. You can do voting in various ways. There are multiple ways you can work on the voting, how you can do and all those things. Okay. So whenever you are solving all the PMP question, you can basically, whenever you are solving all the PMP questions, have this servant leadership mentality with you. So starting with the question number 1, Atif, I want you to answer question number 1, and everyone else, please put the answer in the chat box. So Atif, I guess the question is with you now. So there will be a timer. Atif, your timer starts now.
Okay, I can see now. Okay, which of the following best personifies the benefit that teams can expect? Okay, co-located team members offer significant benefit to project. Just a second. Project where available. Co-located team members offer significant benefits to project where available. Team communication and collaboration are more effective. It costs much less because team members are in same location. Team communication is no longer required when team members are co-located. Co-location reduce the communication the project manager has to do with the team. Reduce communication. Co-location team members offer significant benefit to project where available. Okay, the cost much less because team members are, okay, the C is out of question. It's out. Team communication no longer required. And co-location reduce the
last 5 seconds, Atif.
Okay,
pick your
so
answer.
I guess the A.
A is the right answer. Now give me a justification why you chose A answer.
Co-location, the question is co-located team member offer significant benefit to the project where available. So,
okay.
So team communication and collaboration are more effective. So when the team is available and communication is the key of the success. So that's why I will go with that.
Yeah, your answer is A. What do you mean by basically co-located? Co-located mean that the team is present at one location. They are present at one location. So guys, now how he solve the question, and what is the best way, what is the best practice to solve the question? First of all, slow down. You have a good amount of time in the exam. You have 230 minutes. 230 minutes in the exam. That is 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 50. This is the time you have in the exam to solve PMP question. This is more than enough to solve the question. 230 minutes. You have 180 questions. If you divide 230 with 180, we approximately get 85 to 90 seconds. That is 1 minute and 30 seconds for each question. That is more than enough time. So let's see how to manage that time, how to work for the exam. Although you have 90 seconds to solve the question, but we give in these mock questions 70 seconds so that you can prepare yourself in the best possible way. So when you start your exam, when you book the exam, basically you will get that okay, you have 270 minutes for the entire exam. You will be given that you have 270 minutes for the entire exam. Actually, you don't have 270 minutes. The first 10 minutes are for tutorial, how to use the software. Okay. Then you have 2 breaks, 10-minute break. And then after that, in the end, you have 10 minutes survey. Okay. Breaks. So this becomes basically 10, 10, 10. Remaining you have 200 real time. That is the most important thing. So if I make a line of it, so let's say you started the exam. Once you go to the center, start your exam. This is 0. This is 270 minute. You will have first 10 minute for the tutorial. Please do not skip that time. This is very important that you understand the software, what is being, how to use that software. Even if you, if it's your second attempt or third attempt, still take that time to soak in the information, relax yourself. What I recommend, let me do it right now with all of you. All of you, please close your eyes. Close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath. Take another deep breath. Please open your eyes. This is called deep breathing exercise. So whenever you will do this deep breathing exercise, it will put back your focus to the problem, and whatever the things you are having, second thoughts, all those things, they will be removed from your system. So in that first 10 minutes, I just said, I did only three deep breath. You can do it for 1 minute or 2 minutes just to get the focus for you. Or whatever is your religion, you can pray at that time. And if you are giving exam in center, this is important. If you are giving exam in center, then you also have another option that basically you can write down on the paper. You can, they give you a paper and pencil, and you can write down on anything. Like for example, change request journey. Change request journey is one of the most important journey in PMP. So you can, if you want to, you can get a lot of questions regarding that. You can write down anything on that paper if it is allowed. Sometimes some centers does not allow, so it is a good thing that you ask from the center that can I write down something here. A very important thing, even if the center allows to write down anything, you are not allowed to take that paper with you. That paper is a property of PMI. You need to give them that. Okay, so that's all about the system. 10 minutes for that tutorial and whatever. And once those 10 minutes are over, or you skip it, actually you can skip that. The real game is started. Now your clock will start from 230 minutes. The question number 1 will be there. You will start solving the question number 1. Then you will move to 1, 2, 3. Once you reach question number 60, the exam will not tell you how much time you take. Even you spend all the time on your question 60, let's say you spend 200 time, the exam is not going to say you anything. Once you reach 60, you do the 60 question, and then you put the next, the exam will, a message will pop up. Do you want to review? Okay, my recommendation is not to review. If you want to review, that's your choice. Okay, my recommendation is basically not to review. Once you have done that, yes or no, review, whatever, then the exam will ask, do you want to take a break? Always take a break. Always take a break. Okay, so this was a bad thing to have 200 minutes. Ideally, you must have spent 80 to 90 minutes in the first session. 80, your target should be 80. But even if you have reached 90, it's okay. Let's say you have reached 80 minutes and you have done only 55 questions. In last 5 questions, you need to rush now. You don't need to rush for any question before that. But once the clock has reached 80, means you started at 230. You started at 230. Now you have 150 on your clock. 150 minute remaining. You can see a pop-up will be there. The says 150 minutes. Now you need to read the last line, answer. Read the last line, answer. Don't worry about these 5 questions. Guys, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a big exam. So 4 or 5 questions has no value. Don't worry about that. So after that, once you have done 60 questions, let's say you took 80 minutes, you go to the break, you get 10-minute break. Okay, you go outside, go to the washroom, drink half glass of water, and do bring chocolate with you. The chocolate will give you an instant energy. Have a bite of that chocolate, do this deep breathing exercise for 1 minute, come back. Although the time clock give you 10 minutes, use only 7 to 8 minutes for that. Okay, come back. Now when you come back, remember this thing. If you took a break at 150, the clock stopped there. That clock stopped, another clock started and showing 10 minutes. Okay, so once those time is up, you come back, you start, your clock started again back from 150 minutes. Now you are again solving the question from 150. Let's say again you took 80 minutes from question number 60 to question number 120. Again, the exam will ask you, do you want to take a break? Again, take a break, do that, all those things. Now, again, if you are at the question number 110 and you can see that the only time left is 70 minutes, you need to move. You need to move quickly. Answer all those 10 questions. Don't worry about those 10 questions. We still have a 60 question. Those 60 questions are more important. So once you go to break, come back. Let's say you took a break at 65 minutes remaining. Now you have to do remaining 60 question, 121 to 180 question. Let's say only 5 minutes left and you have 10 questions. Read the last line, answer. Read the last line, answer. Read the last line, answer. The purpose is to complete the exam. The purpose is to complete the exam. There is no negative marking in the PMP exam. If you manage time in this way, 80 for the first section, 80 for the second, and 70. Or you can also use like this, 90, okay, 70, 60. This is the best formula. In worst case, you need to use this. You must have minimum 60 to 70 minutes for last session. And in my experience, most of the time, the last section, if I call it A, B, C, mostly it is the most hardest part of the exam. This is more of an average and this is more of an easy part. But this depends from exam to exam. I'm just giving you what my lesson learned from all 142 students who have passed the exam. So whatever the session is difficult, if A is easy, B is difficult, C is normally easy. The purpose is to complete all the questions. Guys, if you complete all the questions properly, the probability that you will pass goes high, very high. Now, very important thing and very important thing about the exam is if you are even very, very well prepared, when you are solving the real exam, you will feel, yes, you will feel that I'm gonna fail. You will feel I'm gonna fail. You need to trust your instinct. You need to trust yourself, your preparation. And whenever you feel I'm gonna fail, what to do? Take a deep breathing exercise and keep moving forward. Because if you are able to overcome that and complete it, the exam is yours. Another technique, one of my student, Ilyas, I guess, referred me, or Ram, I don't remember. He said, sir, instead of deep breathing exercise, I used to pinch myself in the exam. Whenever such thoughts come, I used to pinch myself. So this is another way you can use. The purpose is to put the focus back because these things are normal. This will come in the exam. Vignesh, center or home, both are good, but whatever is possible for you. My recommendation is always go for the center. Why? There have been multiple students who were giving exams in the home, and they had internet issue, like come give the exam last month. He was in the question number 115th, and suddenly the Pearson internet drops there, and when the internet came back, he messaged the proctor. The proctor said, okay, someone will join in 5 minutes. He waited 30 minutes, no one came, and then they put him to survey, and then he received an email, you failed the exam. Then we talked and we solved that issue, but it was 4 to 5 painful days that he has to wait. So if your internet is very, very, very good, take the exam from home. Or if you don't have choice to go into center, take the exam from home. Many of my students are doing the same thing. But if possible, guys, my recommendation is always take the exam from center. Now, some people are saying that exam is difficult in home or in center, or exam is easy on Monday or Sunday. There is no correlation. There is no correlation. Although I recommend giving exam on Tuesday, Wednesday, most probably, and Thursday. The reason is that most of the people are giving exam on weekend. So when you go to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the center is particularly empty and there will be no noise. So I recommend that for that reason. Otherwise, you give exam on whatever the day, whatever the time, the exam will follow the same pattern. So this was, I think, morning first half should be better. Wasim, that is your opinion. I respect that. I'm a night person. I like my mind works better at night. It is possible your mind works better at morning. You need to identify at what time your mind works. For example, my wife has given the exam of ACP. We put her timing at 1:30 p.m. Why? Normally she wake up at 1:30 p.m., not AM, Nidhi, PM. Okay, in the center, like more of an noon afternoon. So when you once you go there, she was more active at that time because she works in according to that. For me, when I give exam, I give last two exam in home. I gave the exam at 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m., 2 or 2:30. Why? At that time, before a complete month, I was teaching some Canadian and American students from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So I was most active at 2 a.m. So what time suits you? You need to identify that thing. Okay, can we solve last 60 question in first? No, we have 60, 60, 60 question. You have three exam A, exam B, exam C. Totally 180 question, A, B, C. Portion two, first 60 question. Once you are done with the first 60 question and you go to 61 question after break, you cannot review the first thing. That is done. Story over. When you go to 61 to 120, only focus on that. The previous and the next has nothing to do. Once you go to the 121 question, the previous 120 story is over. Guys, teach every question as an individual question. Teach every question as a special question. Move US. Okay. Anxiety will get less time to stay. Yeah, as you, it depends again from person to person. How many questions approximately need to correct? And no one knows how many questions you need to pass in the exam. But most probably, if you can get like 70% plus, you can clear the exam. PMP exam are more of a qualitative exam as compared to quantitative exam. They don't share the percentage. You only get below target, target, above target. So that's how you tackle the exam. That was the first thing you need to know. Okay, now comes the second most important thing: how to solve PMP question. As we move, we will see. I will share how to solve the question. Arun, next question with you.
Milestone list, activity list, activity attributes, and assumption logs are all inputs to work project schedule management process. Sequence activities, estimate activity resources, plan schedule management, schedule control.
Now, most of the time you will not get a question like this, but I put few questions of ITTO just to give you understanding. You should how the project schedule is made, how the schedule baseline is made, how scope baseline is made, how uh, scope, schedule, cost baselines are made. So how do we know without memorizing what are the inputs required? So the question says milestone list, activity list, attributes, assumption log are input to what project schedule management. So we know it is a topic of schedule. Okay. So what is the most important thing that we have in scheduling? In plan schedule, basically we just get a schedule management plan to work on. Okay. In schedule control, you are controlling the schedule, so you don't need these things. In estimate activity resources, you don't have sequencing. So when you are sequencing the activities, then you need which activity come first, which activity come last. All those things are required. So wherever you are, first you need to identify where are you in this process. So the question says it itself. We are in the schedule management process. It is very easy to understand in which knowledge area, in which process groups: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and control. Where are you? So we are in planning and in schedule. Okay. And the question is asking which activity is important. So of course, where we are using all these things as input. So it becomes sequence activity. Few of ITTs are important. Do have look of them for some time. Thank you, Harun. And for next, solve the question, also answer it next time. Okay, Arun. Arun,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
please.
What is the best thing to do? Reduce the estimates to meet the 10% deductions, but document the risk associated with this reduction. Perform the value analysis, provide the most realistic estimates along with its basis, and explain the risk of reductions. Do not reduce the activity cost estimates, but reduce the project considerations to meet the 10% reduction request. Immediately after you submit the estimates and the project management plan for approval, your CEO asked you for the 10% reduction on overall project cost. What is the best thing to do? Immediately after you submit the estimates, the project management plan for approval, CEO asked for 10% reduction. Reduce the estimate cost to meet 10% reduction, but the document the risk associated with the reduction.
So can we do option A? Can you do option A?
Can you option we can keep it, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's not omitted. It's
Okay. Next.
Perform value analysis will not be there. Provide the more realistic estimate among the bases. Explain the risk reduction. This option also we can keep. So C also we can keep. Do not reduce the activity cost estimation, but reduce the project context reserve reduction request. I will go with yes, sir. Reduce the estimate to meet the 10% reduction. But
Okay, now Arun, you did a few things very good. The good thing you did, you read the last line first. It's a good way to understand. Then you read the option, a very good thing. So you need to identify first thing, where are we? What are we doing actually? So what is being happened in the process? What are we doing? And what is the problem?
CEO is asking for 10% reduction in.
Yeah, so
10,
CEO is asking,
reduction.
CEO asked
10%
on overall project. So we are doing estimation. We are doing estimating cost. Maybe we are making cost budget, project budget, or cost baseline, right? Something like that.
Yes.
So if once you are working with this, so reduce the estimation to meet the 10% reduction. Why do you reduce it? The CEO asked reduce the budget, and you reduce the budget. If you do what the CEO has asked, what is your where do you stand? How you made the estimates before? The CEO will ask you, now this is a very counter thing. CEO asks you to reduce the budget, but if you reduce the budget, the CEO will tell you this means you were doing fishing with me. You haven't given me the right budget before. Yes or no, Arun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you reduce the estimate, that problem will be with you. Okay, let's keep this option. You eliminated B and D. I understand that. Now look at the option C. Guys, look at the option C. Provide the most realistic estimate along with this basis. Okay, we made this estimate. This is the reason why this basis did. And explain the risk of reduction and tell him, okay, if I reduce it, you will face such kind of problems. Guys, you are a project manager. Arun, you are a project manager. You are accountable.
Yes.
You have done something. So you need to take your accountability. You provide him, okay, this is the thing. This is why we have these estimates. And if this is the reduction, if we reduce this, this will be the problem. So now I have conveyed this question to you. So option, which is the right answer? What do you think? A or C?
C, sir.
So why you chose A? So guys,
I have thought that estimation. I have thought like estimation. So I choose the 10%.
Yeah. But guys, very important thing. You need to see which thing will which thing will solve the problem temporary, which thing will solve the problem permanently. We need to work with both things, temporary and permanent. And when we look at this, which is you are a project manager, what you should do. So very good technique that I recommend. Whenever you are solving question, try to explain someone else. Okay, this is what we are doing. This is what we are doing, and this we need to solve. Even in initiation, when you are starting solving question, or you can mute yourself. Even when you are starting solving question, it is possible that it will take more time. Let it be. Even one question take 20 minutes, It's okay. The purpose is to understand how these questions are being asked. Slowly, you will start working on your time. Time management is not the problem. Understanding of the question is the problem. First, solve understanding of the question, then move towards the next topic. Okay. Umar Sadiq, can you unmute yourself? Let's solve the next question.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Which of the following would be the best course of action that Brian could take? Brian is a project manager who wants to limit his team's work in progress task in order to balance demand against the team's delivery throughput. Which of the following would be the best course of action that Brian could take? Option number A. Brian should not rely on a schedule that was developed previously for the development of the product or product increment, but rather pull work from a backlog as a resource become available. Brian should install a task monitoring software to track tasks and then use the information to initiate changes to schedule baseline. Brian should closely monitor work in progress tasks and schedule tasks accordingly. Since the schedule is planned in detail before the work is accomplished, Brian cannot limit team tasks or work in progress.
So what is the answer?
Sir, actually, I think I'm out of the time
So
already.
what is, leave the time. What is the problem? Tell me what is the problem? Where are we? What is the problem and how we want to solve it?
I think there is a problem with the time limit. And we want to limit
It's
the
not
time.
think, Umar, it's not, I think is you have to be very confident. This is the problem. If you go to your program manager as a project manager and says, hey, I think this is a problem. Now your program manager will say, okay, then you can go home, because if you don't know, this is the problem. You need to be sure, yeah. You need to be sure. So define me what is the problem. Let's work with the question again. Brian is a project manager who wants to limit his team work in progress. So where do we limit the work in progress? Which tool we use to limit the work in progress? Kanban? From here, we know we use Kanban. Okay. So something about the Kanban is being said. In order to balance demands against the team delivery throughput. And throughput is also used in Kanban. So again, something has to be do about Kanban system or related to that. Which of the following will the best course of action Brian could take? Okay, let's work with the option. Brian should not rely on schedule that was developed previously for the development of the product or product increment, but rather pull work from a backlog. So in Kanban, we worked with the pull system, right, Umar?
No, sir. No, sir.
No? How do we work in the Kanban?
It's a phase, sir. In Kanban, we
Explain
limit
me
the
Kanban. Yeah, explain me Kanban then.
the Kanban is a incremental stepwise that will limit the
No.
situation.
Kanban is this. Kanban, this is a Kanban board. Okay. So how do we work in Kanban board? Let's work on this. Guys, extremely sorry about my writing, but my teacher tried very hard and they said to me this writing has to be like this. Today, in progress, testing, done, accepted. Okay, let's say we have 6 user stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have limit of 2 user stories here and 1 here. Okay, so let's say 1 and 2 are there and you are working on this. Once this is completed, it will go here. Okay, once this is completed, it will go here. It will pull the next user story here. It is once this moved to the next pair, you are pulling the next user stories. So Kanban, 2 principles of Kanban is, one is it's information radiator. It's a work in, it is showing work in progress It does not work on iteration. It is not time box. It works on pull based system. You are pulling the previous user story as the things are moving. So they are working on the pull system. It is also called as on demand scheduling. Okay, so this is basically, I'm not saying this is the right answer. I'm just saying what is Kanban. Let's move to the next option. Okay, Brian should install our task monitoring software to track tasks and then use this information to initiate changes. No, how can we like use a task monitoring software? What it has to do there? It has nothing to do with the Kanban board. It is not saying anything how we will control that, how that software will work. Very important thing when we are talking about work in progress, throughput, this question belongs to agile or hybrid. We like low tech, low tech. We don't want technology, very hi-fi technology in agile. Low tech, high touch. Low tech, high touch. Burn up, burn down chart, things like that. Brian should closely monitor work in progress, task and schedule task accordingly. But then how is going to manage a throughput? Since the schedule is planned in detail before work is accomplished, Brian cannot limit task. He can limit at any time. So you need to understand Kanban, what we are doing in Kanban. In Kanban, we put work in progress limit. In Kanban, we focus on throughput. Throughput is the amount, how number of user stories you do in a particular time. If you do 5 user story in one day, that will be your throughput. If you do 10 user story in one day, that will be your throughput. So when we are working in iteration, we use the name velocity. When we are working in on demand or Kanban system, we use the word throughput. Okay. So guys, it was a difficult question, but it's an important question. Arun, I am expecting a better thing from you. Mozam Ali, can you unmute yourself? Mozam
Yeah,
Ali?
hi. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, Mozam, please solve this question.
As directed by the PMO, your project team has been diligent in documenting challenging and problematic situations that were faced in their descriptions that have included description of the situation, potential root causes, and the methods by which the team resolved and overcame the issues. The team believes that the attention to detail and focus on documentation is helping to better prepare them to deal with the similar situation on future projects. In recording these situations, which documents has the team created? Number one option is A, the team has created an issue log. B, the team has created change request. C, the team has created a lesson learned. The team has created a risk register. Okay. As your project team has a diligent documentation situation that faced in this. Root cause. There are many things over there.
So the thing is that the first thing, you got confused because the question is long. Because the question is long. So guys, whenever the question is long, the first thing you need to work is that you need to read the last line. Always, specifically for long question, make this as PMP religion. Always read the last line. In recording this situation, which document the team has created. So when you read the last line, even we have not read the question, from this we can say, okay, so we are talking some kind of document here, right?
Yeah.
We need to create a document. Okay, so let's see what documents we have. Let's go with the options. The team has created an issue log. Okay, so if there's an issue, we create an issue log. If there's something about changes, we put change request. If some lessons are learned, we put lesson learned. If we have found risk, we are creating a risk register. So now we understand, okay, the team has to create, guys, apart from the guy who is answering the question, everyone else, please mute yourself. Okay, so Atif, please take care of this thing. So now we need to create a document. Now let's go and work with the question. as directed by the PMO, Project Management Office. Your project team has diligent in documenting challenging and problematic situations that were faced. Now, what is here? We have a clue. We are documenting challenging and problematic situation that were faced.
Okay.
We are trying to get something from that thing. Let's see. In the description that you have included, description of the situation, potential root cause. You are documenting, okay, what is the potential root cause of this thing and the method by which the team resolved and how did we had a problem. Okay, team went to solve root cause, and then whatever we learned from that, whatever the method we used, okay, to overcome that particular issue, how we learned something from that particular issue, how we resolve that issue. The team believes that attention to the detail and focus on documentation is helping to better prepare to deal with a similar situation on future projects. We are creating a document that is going to help us to solve problem on the future project if something resurfaces. So what are we creating here? Issue log is for the current project. Change request is for the current project. Risk register is for the current project. Lesson learned is something that you learn whatever the issues were, how the changes were handled, how the risk was created, and once the lesson learned were put there at the end of the project, all lesson learned register was put into the lesson learned repository so that we can use the same problem for the future project.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I selected most difficult 60 question. There's a reason for that. If you do hard questions in positive way, you can solve. You can mute yourself, brother. You can solve easy question the best possible way. Okay. Yes, Jafar, you have a question. Go ahead, please ask.
Can I ask a doubt in the previous question, or we will go?
Jafar, I highly recommend that we only talk about that particular question.
Okay.
The previous question, once we are done with the 20 question, we can go back. Okay, brother?
Okay.
So now the answer is C, right, sir?
C is the right answer. Yes.
C is the right answer. Okay.
Jafar, can you solve the next question?
Okay. Which knowledge area employs the process required to ensure timely and appropriate generation, collection, distribution, storage, retrieval, and ultimate disposition of project information? Which knowledge area employs process required to ensure timely and appropriate generation, collection, distribution, storage, retrieval, and ultimate project information? Project quality management, project communications management, project integration management, project risk management. And
so what is the problem?
It's not about the
problem.
Yeah, it's like interconnecting all the knowledge areas. So it's not about the quality.
Okay.
It's not mentioning about only communication. It's not mentioning about only risk. I think the option C is the right one, project integration.
Let's work with this. Which knowledge area employs the process required to ensure timely and appropriate generation, collection, distribution, storage, retrieval, and ultimate disposal of what? Of project information. The question brother is asking which process or which knowledge area is responsible to manage the information. So integration is responsible for managing the information. Is integration responsible?
Then it will be, if project information means it will be communication.
So how can you, like, brother, slow down, understand the question, the context of the question, what is being asked. People are asking me, will we get to RTTO question, knowledge area question? No, you will not get question. You will get questions like this. You must know where the things happen. If something is related about the quality, it's quality. If something is combining, integrating, configuration, change, it's integration. If something is about risk, it's risk management. Okay, so B is the right answer. Okay, B is the right answer. Communication. It was a particularly Jafar easy question. You need to slow down, brother. Understand the context of the question, how we are working on it.
Okay.
Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, Mosam is done. Radesh.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Rajesh here. Which of the following rules could the project manager leverage to help rectify this situation? Which of the following rules? Okay. Demonstrate courtesy and consideration for each other and control who is allowed to speak. Okay. Create and publish an agenda and a set of rules for controlling the meeting. Schedule the meetings in advance. Have a purpose for the meeting with the right people in attendance. Okay. The project team meeting have historically been chaotic and undisciplined and unsuccessful in delivering the value of the project manager needs. In the previous meeting, the team demonstrated disrespect in the form of talking over each other, showing up late, and not paying attention to the information presented. Which of the following rules could the project manager leverage to help to rectify the situation? Previous meeting, team demonstrated disrespect, showing up late, not paying. Okay. Schedule meeting in advance, have purpose for the meeting, demonstrate courtesy and concentration. I'll go for the option B, create and publish an agenda and set the rules for controlling the meeting.
Okay, brother, how did you eliminate option A, C, and D? I need to know that.
Actually, the time was running up, so
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay, brother. That the purpose of time is that so that you guys should have tension about that. Okay.
Okay.
Here we are learning, so I can give more time. Yes. How did you solve this question?
This question speaks about the team is being indisciplined in the meeting, showing up late. So it speaks about team charter, something like that. And in the options, I could say like schedule a meeting in advance. I don't think so. Have a purpose for the meeting with the right, and the remaining sentence I couldn't read because of some screen issues. Demonstrate courtesy and
rules could the project. Okay. So your final answer is option number B.
I'll go with B.
And B is the right answer. Well done, brother. You are doing very good. Okay, let's go with the next question. Okay, Saurabh Dixit, I guess. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, Amer. Yeah. Which tool and technique is used in the perform country risk analysis process to visualize display the amount of the impact each risk has on a project output? Risk register, tornado diagram, probability and impact matrix, Monte Carlo simulation. I'll go for the option D.
Brother, how did you eliminate the options? I need to know.
Okay, I think Monte Carlo is the means technique that we use for the performance quantitative risk analysis, and others that risk registers we use for the means capturing the risk, and tornado diagram and the probability and the impact matrices is the not the relevant is thinking with this scenario.
Okay, well done. So again, if someone asks tools or techniques are important for the exam, no, they are not important. You just need to know what each tool meant and how to work with that. This is very important, guys. Even the exam changes entirely tomorrow, still few things will remain important. You need to understand what does risk register have, what is sensitivity or tornado analysis, what is probability and impact matrix, what do you do in the Monte Carlo analysis. You need to understand. That is the purpose of the real exam, to understand tools and technique and how to use them, where to use them. And D is the right answer. Well done, brother.
Thanks, Amer.
What was your answer? B, na? Sorry, Saurabh, your answer was B?
Yeah.
B, tornado diagram. So B is the right answer. Okay, let's go with the next question. Saurabh, you can mute yourself. Riyaz Hussain,
Sure, thanks.
Yes, sir.
go ahead.
What process should be used to deal with this issue? Explain to team members that long discussion take time away from actual work on the project. Explain to team members that long discussion take time away from actual work on the project. C, insert a new team member who will manage obstacles and schedule additional meetings to discuss possible solution. D, tell the team members that they are required to shorten the stand-up meeting and improve on finding solution. A new project manager joins the project's daily stand-up only to find that the project's team spends too much time discussing ways to deal with obstructions in the project. Because of this discussion, stand-up often lasts well over 2 hours. What process should be used to deal with this issue? Explain to team members that long discussion time take time away from the actual work on the project. Insert a new team member who will manage obstacles. No. D, tell the team members that they are required to shorten meeting and improve on finding solutions. The main question is to deal with the obstructions in the project. To deal with the obstructions, PM is responsible for this one. You need to explain. I will go with answer A because it gives that explain to team members that long discussion will take time away from actual work on the project.
Okay, so the problem was
to deal with the obstructions in the project.
Okay, so how do we deal obstruction in the project? Because of this discussion, stand-up often lasts well over 2 hours. First of all, is it a good practice that the stand-ups goes to 2 hours?
15 minutes as 15. A stand-up. 15 minutes.
Stand-up should be explain the team member that long discussion take time away from the actual work. So how will that solve the problem? If you explain the team member that the long discussion, how that will solve the problem? Team still need to discuss something. Team still need to discuss something. Yes or no? So
because
when you will discuss
there is a maximum time limit which is supposed to be done.
Yes,
15 minutes.
Yes. There's a maximum time limit. Okay. Explain the team member that long discussion take time from the actual work. This is the same option. Okay. Insert a team member who will manage an obstacle and schedule additional meeting. Okay. Tell the team member that they are required to shorten the stand-up meetings. That's what you are saying to me. What you are explaining to me, you are saying we need to shorten the stand-up meeting. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So why you are choosing an option A? If you are saying me that you need to reduce the time for stand-up, then why you are choosing option A? You are saying me something that this is a problem. We need to solve it this way. Then you are choosing another option. So this is kind of funny, Riyaz. You know the problem. You understand it. Everything you did right, but you chose the wrong option. Okay, this is very, very critical. Guys, stand-up is one of the best practices of Scrum, that you have 15-minute meeting scheduled, same time, same location. We asked basically 3 questions in that meeting. What we have done yesterday, what we are going to do today. Is there any impediment or roadblocks? All those things are being asked in that thing. So we time box it to 15 minutes. So the time is increasing. First of all, we are violating that thing. So let's say there are some impediments, because we are there to highlight the impediment. If the impediment is there, once the stand-up is end, we can have a follow-up meeting. Stand-up has to be 15 minutes. That is for sure. If something has to be there, you can do that after stand-up. You can do that after stand-up. This is very important, very critical. You will have the question in your exam like this. Okay. Shishwati, can you solve the next question, please? Go ahead, Shashwati.
Okay. As a servant leader, what is the best? Okay.
Sorry.
As a servant leader, what is the best course of action here? Use your judgment to eliminate some documentation stuff which you feel is unnecessary. Set up a meeting with the customer and key team members to reevaluate current documentation process and identify opportunities for simplification and elimination. Empathize with the issue for your team and propose that you are willing to help by working extra hours for them to complete the documentation backlog. Instruct the team to follow the process already being followed and try to hire additional resources to help with documentation. Tim is a project manager for a restaurant development project that is being carried out in an agile manner. His team members have approached Tim several times in the last few weeks, expressing concerns about amount of paperwork they must complete as a part of the project. This has been a client request from the beginning, but it is taking up a lot of your team members' productive time. As a servant leader, what is the best course of action here?
Again, what is the problem here? First, identify what is the problem here.
So here they are doing a project on agile manner, and Tim has seen that.
Shwati, again, you are reading the question, right? You are not, but you are. This is not a good practice. Whenever you have a long question,
Like lot of paperwork has taken time,
yes.
right?
You see, when you read this line as a servant leader, what is the best course? So once the word says servant leader, you directly go the question belongs to agile. Use your judgment to eliminate some documentation stuff which you feel is unnecessary. Here, servant
This
leader.
I will eliminate.
No, here servant leader. Why you will eliminate? Tell me.
Because you cannot use your expert judgment.
Well done, well done. You cannot take the decision. Next option.
Yeah.
Set up a meeting with the customer and your key team member to reevaluate the current documentation process and identify opportunities for some. This seems a good thing that you are facilitating with team. Okay, let's put it this way. Empathize with the issue of your team and propose that you are willing to help extra hours. Is it allowed to work extra hours?
No.
So let's put it out of this option. Next. Now read the last line. Read the option D. What does the option say?
The team to follow the process already.
I'm not reading
followed.
even I'm not even reading that line. Instruct. Can a servant leader instruct?
No.
So even without reading the question, guys, this is the power of reading last line and options. Even without reading the question, we solve the question. Yes or no?
Correct.
So guys, it's not the time management issue. It's the way how you perceive a question. When your problem is coming to you, you need to understand the problem and solve it. I don't recommend read the last line and solve the, just see if any option you can eliminate one or two, but then read the question and then identify what the real problem is there. So Shashwati, you are doing very good, but here we need a more work. Okay.
Yeah,
so
sure.
B is the right answer. B is the right answer because here you are working with a team to evaluate all those things. Okay, next question. Okay. Hesam? Go ahead.
Yeah. Which of the following best describe the different visual impacts that lead and lag have on the diagram? So we have lead moves a successor left, lag moves it right, lead moves successor right, and lag moves it left, and predecessor left and move lag right and moves right. And okay. After creating the initial draft of project schedule network diagram, your team began refining the document to indicate the lead and lag relationship between activities. Okay. So in a network diagram, team has started to work on the lag and relationship. Okay. So in this case, lead moves successor left. Okay, yeah, we will achieve early, and lag moves it to the right. We will go to right. Okay, that makes sense. And lead moves successor right, and lag moves it left. No, this is like excluded. And lead moves predecessor left, and lag moves it right. No, and no, predecessor left, and lag moves right. No. Okay, and lead moves predecessor right, and lag moves it. I need to imagine it correctly. So predecessor right, and lag moves it left. No.
So maybe you can
Yeah.
you can see this how we are doing. So when it is lead, what happens? In lead, the
We achieve early.
successor,
Hmm.
what happens?
We will achieve early.
We will achieve early.
Yeah, so it comes left.
So the successor has come here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of lead. Instead of what happens in lag? The successor has moved away.
Right. Yeah, move right
So
side.
there is a delay. Lead is basically time is reduced. Lag is delay. So for option A becomes right. I really like the way you saw this question. While I was solving question, I tried to imagine, but then I started writing here. So maybe that's how you can use
Paper use.
whiteboard. You can use paper in the center, or you have a whiteboard in home while you are in the software. You have calculator and whiteboard there. You can solve, use it there also. Okay, let's move to the next question. Is it Shadab? Shadab?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, please.
I'm responsible for documenting all potential project requirement and ensuring that correct decision are made to select which requirement. For documenting all potential project requirement and ensuring the correct decision. Sir, I would say project management team.
Why? How you eliminate it?
Because here we are talking about the documentation and all. So it's not customer's responsibility. Yeah, and of course it's also not project sponsor. So I should choose between C and A. So of course it should be the management team, I guess.
You are 100% right, brother. It is the
Thanks, sir.
question actually says that who is responsible for documenting?
Right.
Documentation, you are working. Actually, the question is asking who is responsible for working. Of course,
Yeah,
it
it's very
can't be
simple.
sponsor. That's why sponsor hire you. It cannot be functional manager. Why? Customer, if the customer has to do the documentation, then what are you doing? So the responsibility of project management team. Well done. Thank you.
Yeah. This is the simplest question yet, I guess.
That depends. Many even people, Calvin is I guess his name is Calvin. Someone is Calvin answering his right answer. Many people sing out wrong answer. There are multiple people who got it wrong. So this is all perception, which is right, which is wrong. Okay, thank you.
All right.
You can listen.
Nice talking with you, sir.
Prashant, am I pronouncing the name right? Prashant Esselkar, the guy with the M as a picture. Prashant, can you unmute yourself? Okay, I guess Chakra, can you solve?
Yeah. Which additional key output of control resources process must be generated to properly address the issues and solutions identified? In evaluating work performance information produced by control resources process, your project team has identified 3 issues that they believe require both preventive and corrective actions. Which additional key output of the control resources process must be generated to properly address the issues and solutions identified? Work performance data, project management plan and project management plan updates, project documents update, change requests. 3 issues. Okay, see, it talks about like there are identified 3 issues. Okay, so whenever there is an issue identified, it cannot be work performance data because this is an output, like it gives how the work has been performed. Project management plan updates might be, but project documents update also there. But the change requests cannot be because these are the issues. Okay, so I would go with this project document updates.
Okay.
Because
So,
this is the issue
Chakra,
log.
Chakra, we are evaluating work performance by the control resources. You have identified issues that they believe they need to be solved. So once you believe that there are issues and we need to resolve the issues, don't we need change request for that? Understand this thing. In deliverable, let's say a deliverable has been produced, it goes to control quality. The quality has rejected the deliverable and we need to take preventive and corrective action. So don't we need change request for that?
Okay.
No.
Can you bifurcate? Can you explain the difference between change request and issue?
I guess, Mr. Wasim, please raise your hand. It's a ground rule. If you have anything to say that you agree or disagree, please raise your hand kindly. Yes, Chakra. What do you say?
Yeah, the change request normally,
there's a preventive, there's a problem. The question says that there's a preventive action and a corrective action. When we are making this a preventive and corrective action is required. Preventive is something that the problem can occur in the future. We have foreseen it. Corrective is something like the problem has occurred, we need to improve it. Right? We need to change it so that we can have a plan. So in order to change preventive or corrective action, don't you think we need change request?
Yeah, maybe here I got confused just by seeing the word issues.
The purpose of the question is, the purpose of the question is to confuse you, Chakra. The question is there to confuse you. If the question is not there to confuse you, then what is the purpose of the question at the first stage? Na? So the question is there basically to confuse you. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Santosh, go ahead. What are your questions, Santosh?
Can you give an example for this? I'm still not getting it.
What you are not getting?
No, we require a change request for this one.
Okay, let's say a problem has occurred or an issue has occurred. Wherever you are in the project, a problem has occurred or an issue has occurred. Okay. So now you have identified the issues and you have said, okay, I need to resolve this issue. I need to take an action. The action can be preventive. Preventive is something you see, okay, these things are coming. I need to work on. I need to improve this so that you can follow the project management plan. There's a preventive action. For example, we daily check our tire and we every second week or every week we go to the pneumatic shop, we get all our tires air check, and this is a preventive action. So you are basically doing a preventive action. The problem does not happen. Corrective action is you see your tire, there is less air in your tire, you directly go to the workshop or you directly go to the mechanic, you fill the air, the problem is resolved. The third one is defect repair. You even saw that the tire does not have air, did not resolve it. Now the tire is punctured, you need to resolve that problem. Preventive action, defective action, corrective action, and defect repair. Now it has been identified. You want to resolve this issue. How do you resolve that? You resolve that through generating change request. The change request goes to change control board. The change control board will assess the change. If it is approved, the preventive, corrective, or defect repair will be implemented. Santosh, does that make sense?
But no, but all the preventive actions, suppose if there is an issue detected, not necessary it will go to the change request, change role board, right? There can be instances where it can be resolved out and out.
Yes, it can be. If it does not changes the baseline, if it does not changes the
Yes,
baseline, then it does not need to go. If it does
correct,
not,
correct. No,
okay,
yeah,
but if it does not changes the baseline, it does not need to go. But as a general perspective, as a normal thing, it has to go.
can we just have a look at those options once again, please?
Sure.
Okay. Project management plan update is definitely out of question. Project document updates.
So this is input. This is always come. We have work performance information. This is output. This is output. Plans update, document update. What do you do when you update a document? What will be the benefit of that? Okay, Santosh.
No,
Maybe
he is stuck.
maybe go to
Yeah,
the change request journey one more time. That will
okay.
clarify further how it is resolved. Maybe.
All
I'm
right.
happy that you are back and you are thinking. Good to have you back, Santosh.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Lower your hand. Chakra, you have a question?
Yes, Amer. So actually, like when the moment when you get the issue, before creating the change request, do we really update the issue log first? No resources. I mean, I read the question again. The resources process must be generated to properly address the issues and solutions identified.
You
So,
see, issue was identified once whenever if the question does not have this part and the solution identified, it must be implemented. So we need, if the question says that the issue has been identified, we put it into the issue log. But what is happening here? The issue was identified, then of course issue was logged in the issue log, then we identified the solution, so we updated the solution log. Now in order to implement that preventive and corrective action, Chakra, what do we need?
yeah, okay, fine. Then
Thank
change
you.
request.
Thank you. Yes, Wasim, you raised your hand. Wasim Haider.
I guess work performance data is not output of.
Anything. It is output of manage execute. It's a produce in direct and manage work or in execution. Okay.
Yeah,
But
it is raw observation.
yeah, raw observation. But the question really is saying what actually just discard the word. We don't need the word output. What do we need to address something for which was highlighted? It was resolved, and now we have resolved it. So we need a change request for a corrective and a preventive action. A good question, actually. Okay. So Wasim, can you answer the next question for me?
Yeah, sure. What is the impact of noise on communication? A. Noise interferes with the understanding of the message by the receiver. It could be noise make it hard to hear the communication since it is too loud. It is possible. It is also possible answer. Noise impact communication only if it is persistent. Noise change the message while being delivered. Interfere with the understanding of the message by the receiver. Noise makes it hard to hear the communication since it is too loud. Change the message while being delivered. The understanding of the message by receiver. This makes it hard. What is the impact of noise communication? Noise makes it hard to hear the communication since it is too loud. Noise changes the message while being delivered. A.
And why A?
It there are high possibilities that the receiver who decode message, there are high chances that they will interpret it
Good.
wrongly.
So whatever is basically damaging our understanding, this is the definition of noise. Anything that interferes with the message It can be language, it can be medium, material, whatever. That is called as noise.
Noise.
Okay, well done. A is the right answer. Okay. Question number 15. Who will answer? Samur Rahman. If I'm saying the name right. Samur Rahman.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Yeah, please.
So, what is the next activity that your project team should complete? A. Utilize the schedule activity sequence and estimates to define the project schedule model. Evaluate the project risk. Define the schedule management plan that will be used to manage the project schedule, or start executing project work. You are the senior manager of a new product development project. Your project management team includes a resource manager, a reporting manager, and a scheduler. The team has just completed the task of adding depth to the schedule network diagram. You now know the amount of effort and resources that each activity demands. Okay.
Yes.
A. Utilize the schedule activity sequence and estimates the definer for the schedule. Evaluate the project risk. Define the schedule management plan that will be used. It's not D. Then I think I will go with A.
Okay. So why A?
Because
what was the problem here? What was the problem here?
Currently, I know the amount of effort and resources that each activity demands. That means I know timing or schedule. So right now, what will be my next action point or next activity?
Okay, well done. So I really like the way, Samur, how you solve the question. Although you didn't reply me, and I didn't know you were attending the coaching call, but it's good to have you. Well done. I really like the way you solve the question. Good, well done. Okay, Vijay. I'm giving a hard question to Vijay.
Which project management methodology is best practice for this scenario? Iterative, incremental, hybrid, and sir, it is agile, sir. Last one is I'm not able to see.
Predictive.
Predictive. So Lauren is a project manager for delivering a project which aims to develop a mathematical model to predict the probability of tornadoes in the area. The model will take data and assign the probability of tornado. The client who runs the Center for Tornado Education and Preparedness expects 95% accuracy in the prediction model. There are no rush to get the project delivered, but wants Lauren and her team to focus on learning logarithm the model to match 95% prediction accuracy. Which project management methodology is best described in this iterative, incremental, hybrid, and predictive?
So Vijay, we discussed multiple times when to use iterative, when to use incremental, when to use hybrid and predictive. We have discussed this also yesterday. So according to this, tell me which type of work we need here. We know we rate predictive, iterative, incremental in the how changes. Do we need a lot of changes there? And number of changes, degree of changes, and delivery. How we are going to do delivery? Are we going to deliver in one or in parts? So if there are very less changes and we have single delivery, we use predictive. If there are less changes, less to medium, but delivery is in multiple time, we use incremental. If there are high changes and high delivery, we use agile. If there are high changes but there is a single delivery, we use iterative. So which one we are going to use here? Yes, Vijay. Vijay, I'm waiting for your answer.
Sir, is it mid, sir? Hybrid?
Why? What the question is saying? Explain me the question.
So they want to they want to understand that tornadoes are that
Let's
they want
work.
to.
Vijay, let's work with me. Lauren is a project manager for delivering a project which develops a mathematical model to predict the probability of a tornadoes in the areas. Whatever they do, we don't care. We know one thing, this is a research and development project. The model will take data and assign the probability. The client who run the center of blah, 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 all this is blah, blah, blah. If they are in no rush, they are in no rush to get the project delivered, but wants Lauren and her team to focus on the learning algorithm of the model to match 95% prediction and accuracy. What they are not rush, they don't want the delivery immediately. What they want, whenever we deliver, we deliver it in one part or with the 95% accuracy. So they are asking in a single delivery. It's a single delivery.
So it's a prediction, sir.
No, it's not predictive. How can we do? It's a predictive. It's a research and development. Vijay,
Okay.
why? Vijay, whenever you are answering, just think about that. Okay, I'm gonna answer. So there are a lot of changes there, na? Delivery is single, but a lot of change. But changes are a lot of there.
Incremental.
Yeah, incremental is incremental single delivery. Increment name says increment, step by step delivery. Vijay,
Okay.
brother, whenever you are solving the question, always think through it. Why this option? Guys, another important thing. Whenever you are solving the question, think each option. Why this is right? Why this is wrong? You must have a justification that this option must be right or this option must be wrong. Vijay, a lot of work is needed, brother, in solving question. You need, understand the question. You did it, but still you are jumping here and there. You got confused. A little bit more work on solving question, brother.
Okay, sir.
So answer is iterative. Since we have a single delivery and we are having a lot of changes, that's why answer is iterative. Santosh? Santosh, next question.
Yeah. Which written document monitors the responsible party for resolving specific problems and concerns by a target date? Okay, Rasi chart, responsibility matrix, project plan, and issue log. Rasi chart is for the responsibility, accountability, etc. So this doesn't apply here. They are specifically asking for resolving specific problems. So this is regarding the problem. So responsibility matrix, okay, fine. Project plan, definitely not. Issue log. Issue log is not going to help. So which written document monitors the responsible party? So this is going to be the RASI chart.
RASI chart, where do we have the date?
Resolving specific problems and concerns by the target date.
Where do we have the date?
No, issue log, issue log.
Good, good. Now this is the thing. We need to work on that. It has responsible, accountable, consult inform. It have this. This does not have the problems in it. Issue log is something which has a targeted date when this will be solving. Who is responsible? If all those things are mentioned in issue log. Yes, Wasim. D is the answer.
I got my answer. I was about to ask if issue log contain
It does. It
target
does.
as well.
Issue log
Date.
has what is the issue? From where the issue is raised, status, when it will be closed, how it is closed, targeted date, responsible party, something like that. Thank you. Okay, who else? Who is going to solve this? Jyoti, would you like to solve it? Jyoti?
Try it.
Sorry?
I'll do it. I'll try.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I can loud and clear. Please solve.
Project manager done. Adjust the integration management procedure in a manner that overwhelms the project with unsustainable overhead. Adjusted the integration management procedure based on PMO policies, adjusted the integration management procedure to meet political needs, adjusted the integration management procedures based on project context. A large cross-functional project implemented involved multiple organizations is underway. This requires complex planning, especially with respect to integrating people and their communication needs. The project manager considers this and adjusts the schedule to status review calls during the first 2 months of the project from weekly to daily. The focus of these calls will be disseminated information and to collect status reports. What has the project manager done? He has, from my understanding, answer is C, to meet the political needs.
Okay. Why? Okay, let's work with Jyoti. The focus of these calls with the disseminate information and to collect status report. Okay. What has the project manager done? Adjusted the integrated management procedure in a matter that overwhelms the project with an unsuitable overhead. Okay. Adjusted the integration management procedure based on PMO policies to meet political need or based on project context. Let's go the question. Jyoti, a large cross-functional project implementation involving multiple organizations is underway. This requires complex planning, especially with respect to integrating people. So a project is big. Just imagine a big project. We need to integrate with the people. Some people are in India, some are in US, some are in Canada. The project is very complex. Everyone has their own different communication need. The project manager considered this and adjust the schedule of the status review call during the first 2 months of the project from weekly to daily. So instead of having a weekly calls, he said, let's have a call daily. Okay. So how it is related to political needs?
I'm sorry, I actually got stuck on the cross-functional multiple organization complex planning. So I just took it for granted. But I think, according to me, if I revisit the question, it will be, sorry, somebody is.
What will be the answer? A, B, C, D? We have tailored the, Jyoti, we have tailored the project needs. We have done customization. We have modified our plan according to the requirement of need. This is called as tailoring, customization, or project context. According to the context of the project, we have customized the project to manage the customization needs of the project. Clear? We have changed the.
I just want to ask you something here. Now, this bigger question and this complex wordings that come, right? You read the last line. Do we read the second last line or we read it from the question from the beginning?
Here,
First
my recommendation is to read this thing. The last line first, just to understand the context of the question, how the question is. This is my recommendation, but whatever works for you, Jyoti, whatever works for you. So guys, we have, sorry, Jyoti.
Second last line normally has certain.
Jyoti, whatever works for you. I am giving my recommendation. So whatever works for you, I totally respect that. Okay. Okay. Dania, Amer, can you solve the question? Dania? Okay. Edward, can you solve the question? Edward?
Okay, so what method should be used to calculate the average financial impact of future scenarios? So the problem here is we've got future scenarios. Now we want to find what method we could use to calculate the average financial impact of those scenarios. So
Sorry.
My proposal would be the net present value.
No.
The reason being that
Brother, what should be used to calculate the average of future? What is expected monetary value? What is the formula of expected monetary value? Probability into impact. You are calculating future. Okay. Earned value is CPI, SPI. You are working the current thing. Net present value is the cash inflow. How much money is coming? How much money will go out? Variance is planned versus actual. Expected monetary value is basically calculate the future value. That is why we have probability in that. No? That is why we have. So guys, very important thing I was going to share after the last question, but let me share it here. Whenever, yes, assess decision tree also. Whenever you are solving the question, read each option as this is a right answer. Consider each option as a right answer unless you have a proper justification. Okay, A is not right because of this. B is not right because of this. C is right because of this. D is right because this thing. So you need a justification of each thing. Why this option is right, why this option is wrong. Without that, you cannot solve the question. This is very, very important. Okay, we will solve the last question. Ibrahim, can you solve the last question, please? Brother Ibrahim. Okay, no. Sanger, can you solve the question?
I'll try.
Go ahead.
Which of the following actions would be the most appropriate action to take next? As a project manager on a software development project, you have received a request from customer to provide listing invoices by deliverable. Your company's current accounting system, driven by an internal requirement, captures cost by resource, not by deliverable. To meet the customer request would likely require the team to make changes to the cost accounting practices. You're hesitant to disappoint the customer as they represent a large proportion of company's total business.
Yes. Sanger, I know this is hard.
Just reading again silently, so just to hit the customer request.
I
So
understand.
direct the first option is direct the team to track cost in two ways to meet whatever both internal and external requirement. Follow the internal procedures and refuse the customer. Okay. Fully evaluate the cost impact. C should be the answer. Fully evaluate the cost and impact of complying with customer request.
Yeah, this is the right answer, but I need justification. Why?
Yeah, justification is because it's one of the project managers, what we say, his ideal project manager is that one who properly evaluate first rather than jumping to something, and he is not directing. The first question answer says direct the team, so he should not directly go to a conclusion. First, he should evaluate. Then he's saying that follow the internal procedure and refuse the customer request. Even as per the sequence, I think it should not be there because he cannot refuse the customer directly without evaluating. And the fourth is convert the cost tracking method. So he's again, I think, jumping in the D part. So C should be the first to evaluate and then impact, analyze impact.
It was particularly difficult question. I put the last question as difficult question, but I really love the way how you answer the question. So guys, now session is open for question and answers. So I will see the chat box. If you have any questions, I will answer them first. Then if you have any question, you can raise your hand. People watching on YouTube, you can ask the question from YouTube. We can work on that. And plus, okay, this chat box is very long. If anyone can put the question again, if they have. Issue log. Okay. Is it necessary to write everyone's option in the chat box? Okay. Yes, Wasim, go ahead.
I yet to understand question number 4, which we have. Can we revisit?
Question
Is it
number
possible? 4.
Yeah, sure. 4.
I could see few more people ask reason for question 4.
Let's
in the
work
chat.
on this one. Okay. Yes. This was a question. This was a question.
Yeah, this was the question. Brian is a project manager.
So I explained the Kanban board. The reason for this question was I explained the Kanban board, and this basically we want to limit the work in progress, and we want to balance the demand against this. This means we need a schedule in which we can work on demand scheduling. That is done in Kanban board, where we can limit work in progress. Brian should not rely on schedule that was developed previously for the development of the product or a product, but rather pull the work from backlog. So on-demand scheduling or Kanban works on the pull-based system. So when we pull the thing, we automatically limit the work in progress. When we pull the system, we automatically limit the work in progress. That is why, Wasim, the option A was the right answer. Okay. Okay. Anyone else has any question?
Thank you.
Okay. Sure. So guys, if no one has any question, can you explain lead and lag? So the session is not end yet, Shadab. I have yet to explain how to answer questions. So stay tuned. Many people, like 30 people have left, but stay tuned. Any change from the customer first, PM has to evaluate. Any change from anyone, the project manager will first evaluate and work according to that. I highly recommend watch my journey of change request. Can you explain lead and lag question again? You see, what is lead and what is lag? Let's work on that. Okay. This is predecessor, the activity first. This is successor. Let's say they are joined by finish to start. Ideally, they should work in that way. When we say the activities have leaded, this means the activity has started, even the A has finished before. So the successor has moved on the left side. The successor has moved on the left side. Okay. So if we say there's a lag, this is a lead scenario. If there is a lag, then the successor has moved towards the right. So that's a lag. That's what was asked in the question. But that question was particularly tricky. Okay. Thank you. Lead and lag. Okay, it was very well. Need clarification. What do you need clarification in question number 6? Dani, unmute yourself. Let's talk on that question. Question number 6. What is your confusion in that, Dania? Okay. Can we assess the recording? Yeah, the recording is live on YouTube right now. So it will be automatically placed there. You can assess the question. Okay. So guys, Wasim, please lower your hand if you have no question further. Okay. So guys, now my template of solving question. Guys, this is very important that you make your own template how to solve question. Let me share my template, how I recommend that you solve the question. And you can use that. I can share that if you need it. First step and most important, slow down. Don't run. Most of the time, as you have seen here, people are solving question. They are running here and there. As a result, we need to read question 2 or 3 times. As a result, we need to read the question 2 or 3 times. So slow down, understand the context of the question, what is being asked. Then talk to yourself. Step number 2, talk to yourself. What is being asked in the question? What is really being asked in the question? What is the real problem that you need to resolve? Guys, 180 question, 180 problems. This is as simple as it can get. 180 question, 180 problem. Nothing else, nothing more. So you need to solve all those 180 problems. Step 3, read the last line first. Especially if the question is long, read the last line first to get the context of the question, to understand where do we stand in the question. Then I recommend reading the options. Most of the time, when after reading the last line, you read the option, you can eliminate 1 or 2 options. Step 5, now read the question slowly. Again, slow down. And if the question does not say that an agile team or a predictive team, consider all questions as hybrid. Consider each and every question as a hybrid question. if you can do, try to identify where are you in the question. Are you in the scope topic, in schedule, in cost, quality? Identify where are you, in which knowledge area. Are you in initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control? Where are you? Identify that thing. That can help you to identify a lot of things. Now, your secret weapon and the most important thing, use elimination technique. Use elimination technique to answer this question. Eliminate each option. Okay, option A is not the right answer because you need to have a justification. Option B is not the right answer because option C is not the right answer because of this. Option D is not the right answer because of this, that. You need to have that thing. Once you have done the question, let's say you did 10 questions, do the detailed root cause analysis. Maybe use that fishbone diagram on each question to identify or ask yourself why this is not the right, why this is not the right, why. Identify the root cause. And then use a lesson learned template. Each question must give you one minimum lesson. Each question must give you one minimum lesson. So I recommend doing the root cause analysis and then putting into the lesson learned template. So we are using two templates. Okay, so you can use my template or you can use your own template. Let me show you what I basically provide to my student, the template we should use. You can use that template. I can share it with you. You can message or email me. So again, we have written all the steps here. Whenever you are going to do the root cause analysis, we are again reviewing these steps so that we can get this thing. We know all the questions that we see in the PMP moves around this thing. What should the PM do next? What is the next logical step? All those things. And we understand the framework of the project. This is the framework of the project. Sanger, can you read this framework for me? Sanger? Sanger, can you read this? Okay. An ideal project manager, he should hold health, safety, quality as non-negotiable. Like he cannot negotiate those things. That are the most important priority. He should not bypass a process. He should always be proactive rather than reactive. He should solve the communication problem. He should never escalate unless escalation is the last possibility. He should be accountable and held everyone accountable. Even the change requests come from productive or agile. He took all the change request questions as critical to understand why this is the wrong answer, why right. He identified risk and stakeholders. He managed them. He provides right information at right time to right people in a right way. He knows how to do the priority. He knows how to use his power. All these things are called as framework of project manager. We need to follow this thing. Then you can make your high level thing, your high level summary here. I put my summary here for the students, for example, change request journey of deliverables as a snapshot. This is more of a revision whenever you are solving the question. This is more of a revision. Then come the final thing. Took all the questions, identify what is a learning point from this question. What is a learning point? What I learned from this question. Okay, what I learned from this particular question. I learned this question, I mark the answer. You don't need this column. Let me put as more simple. So what lesson I learned from each question? What lesson I learned from each question? And maybe identify this lesson belongs to predictive or agile, predictive to agile. And you keep moving this with each question. You are getting your own personal lesson learned register. And at the end of the project, when you will, at the end of each mock, you will have 180 lesson learned. Each question is giving you lesson learned. So once you get all this lesson learned, I have all the lesson learned. This will be helpful in the next mock. Guys, root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is the key to clear PMP exam. Elimination technique, root cause analysis. If you use these two things, exam is yours. And one final thing. Whenever you want to revise the things, whenever you want to revise anything, we have made these mind maps for each and every topics that can help you give the revision. Okay, this is the mind map for the entire PMP, courtesy of Sufyan. mind map of entire PMP from start till end. Then I put all this mind map from topic by topic: fundamental, agile, stakeholder, communication, resource, risk, quality, procurement, business environment, scope, schedule, cost. This is courtesy of Rafiullah. Then we worked on the culture, business environment. Then how to handle the change request, predictive and agile. So guys, this sums up the entire PMP in a very easy and digestible way. And that's it from my side. If you have any question, you can ask. So I'll wait for 1 more minute. If you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can call it a day. And thank you very much for your time, for trusting us, for giving this valuable time. I really appreciate that today more than 100 people had joined at a various time. More than 50 people were watching at certain time at YouTube. So thank you very much for your time. And I hope all of you become certified PMP. And when you become certified PMP, do share with us. We will love to record your journey. Bye-bye.